Welcome back to Bits of an Artist's Life. This is Sandy. I'm a professional artist, and here on this channel you get to see bits of my life as a working professional artist, and I share with you the good, the bad, the ugly, all the stuff. Just what it looks like to kind of work your way through paintings, get new supplies, you name it, it's here. This week we have another jam-packed video. Y'all have been liking the long videos, so as long as I have footage, I'm going to keep it up. Give you some long ones. This one is loaded, and I am so excited about it because I feel like it's going to be really inspiring for you guys, especially the figure stuff that I do and the unique way I go about painting some figures. When I say, I don't know, why did I just do that? It's basically like figure, anyways, okay, like headshots. Yeah. Let's get into this fun video. Hello. Today has been a lot of editing and working on future workshop stuff, descriptions, supplies, all that. And I've just been sitting way too long, so I've really been wanting to get back into painting some portraits. And I have not worked in my sketchbook in a while. So I thought I would get that out and do some self-portraits. I did a quick sketch with charcoal. If you're wondering why I'm holding this up, it's because I'm going to use the mirror quite a bit. I am sitting here editing this video, and as usual, I don't even explain what I'm doing with this whole mirror thing. So I know I use the mirror a lot to look at my painting and to help me decide what to do. We're going to get into that more later because you guys have been asking about that. But this time I'm using the mirror because I don't have a model, and I thought I would just use myself as a model instead of looking at a picture or like a photograph. I wanted real life so I could see the different color tones and skin and just things like that. Now, as you watch these, you're going to be like, this doesn't look like you at all. I'm not trying to make these self-portraits or look like me. I'm just using them as a jumping point and a reference. And so that's what I'm doing. Does that make sense? This probably doesn't make sense at all. And you're like, you've lost your bonkers. But it was really helpful and it was really fun to do. And I was surprised how different all of these portraits, self-portraits, turn out. They're really fun. Okay, let's get back to it. Now that I've explained things, just kind of get close and get far. I also have another mirror that is kind of abstracted. I think I'm gonna go get it to you. What I really want to do is get abstract and loose. I do not want to create a pretty portrait. It's not what I'm after. I want loose, I want interest. I really just want nice sloppy portraits, and I want some fun background. So I'm going to just kind of work on both at the same time. I'm doing this in my big Mama Jamma sketchbook. I haven't worked in sketchbook for a while, and I need to do that. I need to just play and step away from canvas work. I'm going to use my LIQUITEX soft body acrylic and get to it. Actually, I'm going to go get that mirror first. All right, here we go. Look, it's a vintage mirror. And it has all this interesting speckly stuff. I set it up on my leader easel. If you're wondering what that is, I have a video on that. But I set it up right next to this. It's gonna be perfect. So it kind of just obscures things. So I think it'll be perfect. As I'm painting this, I am just using myself, as I said, as reference. So I'm able to look a little closer, maybe even a little closer than if I had a model, because I can kind of lean into the mirror, maybe get up in my grill a little more than I would a real person and examine myself and look a little deeper at maybe color shifts in the face, the way my eyelids are. Yes, I am painting my hair kind of a greenish here, but again, I'm trying to get away from real colors and just play with color, look at pattern and shape in my hair, and be a little bit looser and just have fun with it. I think a little bit later get kind of tight because things are going good. But it was a really, really good way to paint a figure, even though I didn't have somebody in front of me. It was way better than looking just at a picture. I mean, way better. I feel like I got a lot more information by looking at the mirror, even in this kind of skewed mirror, than if I had either a real model or especially if I was looking at a photograph. You just can't see the nuances that are there. And I just don't think you look as well as you do if you have something real in front of you. It's just a lot better to always paint from real life, if you can, than from a photograph. I never paint from a photograph. I will paint from other sketches and other paintings of mine, but never from a photograph. I think I'm done with the first one. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Again, I'm not trying to make this look like me. I'm just trying to use myself as a jumping point. I want to just practice being really loose. Well, the reason I picked up the camera, I wanted to show you, I pulled out some of my fabrics because I wanted to make sure I played around with the background and I wanted some inspiration for that. So this first one, I used that top blue, the blue for the background, and I decided just to make her shirt the pattern, just to get some in there. Maybe I'll play with more pattern for my second one, but I'm having fun. Oh, forgot how much fun this is. Okay, I'm done. I'm kind of cracking up that like these two can look so different and they're self-portraits. I mean, they're not. Like I already said, can you tell how much I'm losing my voice? Wow, allergies. So here's my next one. It was really fun to do that background. I just slapped her lips in just to kind of get them there, but then they stayed there. I feel like I should lighten her neck some, but I'm just gonna leave it because I want this to feel very sketchy, you know, loose. I used this fabric right here as inspiration for the background. I think I'm gonna do some more tomorrow. I was going to show you these two since you're coming here. Yesterday I set up my mirror right here. They weren't like, I wasn't trying to paint myself, I was just using myself as a...
The lightness was kind of a...
Not even the lightness.
Pretty pasty.
Pasty? Oh yeah.
It's a good Halloween one then.
I wasn't trying to do me. Well, she's not pasty, she's got a tan. I mean,
I know, I kept getting stuck on pasty.
A lot of you guys have asked about the mirror and don't understand why I use a mirror and how I use a mirror. I'm gonna try to explain it here, but I think if you don't paint, and maybe even if you're just a hobbyist, which is totally fine. Not everybody here that's watching these videos, I know, are not professional artists and you dabble in painting, and that's totally fine. But I do think when you are in this as more of a profession, you get it because you're wrestling with paintings more. Sometimes if you are just, you paint and draw, dabble in it, you're not wrestling with it. There's a different level to that. I don't know if that makes sense at all. But when we are working through a painting and trying to figure out why is it not working, or even is it working, I personally like to use the mirror as my tool. There's a lot of tools. There's things like turning the painting upside down, putting it away for days. I usually don't have the patience for that. I need to know quickly. For me, the best way is the mirror. And what I do, I take a mirror. I've been using this one for years. It's one that Peggy Crow Roberts used to make. She doesn't make it anymore. It's like a little 3-pack thing, a value finder, which is very helpful. Don't ask me about that because I don't have time on this video to go through it, but I do talk about the value finder in other videos. And I've been using this little mirror, but lately I've been liking this one where I can get a good like grip on it. I don't know why. It's just easier to hold. It's a little bigger. What I do is I'll have my painting here and I'll look at it in the mirror backwards. And what that does, it just gives you a fresh view of things. For some reason, when you look at things in a different way, instead of looking at it, let's say you're looking at a landscape and you're like, those are trees, here's the water, here's blah, blah. Your brain tells you that and you're not able to see it in more of a subjective, is that the right word? Way, and look at it with fresh eyes. But when you either turn it upside down or look at it backwards in a mirror, what you're able to see is your brain doesn't say that's a tree anymore. It will help you see like that's kind of in the way of the flow of the painting. That doesn't work. It's just so many things stand out. And if you just do it once, you may go, nothing's standing out to me. It's a little bit of a practice that you have to do. So it's not like a magic tool, even though it does feel very magic at times to me because it just works. It's not foolproof. I mean, I'll have Grady look at things. He'll point something out like, oh, this is, and I'm like, oh yeah, I hadn't seen that. So it's kind of like that. Somebody coming in with fresh eyes and giving you a new perspective on things. I don't know if that makes sense at all. Y'all might be like, try again. Try next week to explain it to us. I feel like I really failed on that. That was the best I could do. Okay, this may look a little odd at first, but what I decided to do was just get some shapes down. So I mixed basically like an ochre kind of color and got my figure, kind of the skeleton of the figure, in. That helped me kind of just loosen up. And now what I'm gonna do is basically, I mean, it's kind of like putting makeup on the figure. And so I'm looking again at my face, looking to shift the color around. I don't want one big blob of color on my face, or not on my face, but on this figure that I'm painting. I don't want it to be like I am putting foundation on. I want to really look deeply at the face in the mirror and see where there are color shifts. And if I see a hint of green, I want to push that color to a greenish tint. Or if I see a purpley tint, maybe like around my eyes, I want to exaggerate that in the paint. I really didn't exaggerate in any of these as much as I wanted to. This LIQUITEX soft body paint that I use, actually pretty much any of the softer body, kind of more liquidy paints, will stay wet longer than a heavy body. And so that means you can kind of work into them a little bit like oils. You do have to move a little fast. You can't just, lollygag for forever, but you do have time. The paint is still wet and I'm able to mix it on the palette some. After the color dried here, I realized that her face was a little pasty. She looked like she had toothpaste rubbed all over her face, so I'm gonna warm her up a little here. One of the things about doing this, once everything dries, if you're like, oh, it looks a little weird, don't feel like, ugh, be excited, because that means you get to keep working into it and adjust the color, get more surface interest. It's really great to me when things don't go well early on, or if a painting gets done too quick, I'm kind of like, oh. And here I'm working on the eyes. I will save these little highlights for last. And if you get in there and smear them a little bit, use a rag, use your finger, it really makes for interesting eyes. And you really gotta just blop an eyeball in. Don't try to make it round. Don't try to make it like what you think. It always works better if you'll just blop it in. Whether you're doing an eye on a bird or an eye on a person, just blop it in there. Let me show you these. These are back from October. These were so fun and I could not be happier with how they turned out. I really should do this again soon. I wanted to show you a little bit of some close-ups of these. I did a whole bunch of them. I think it's so funny too that they don't look like me. But the pattern, I mean, goodness gracious, could you get more fun with pattern? And just all the movement in the face also. I think it's just really fun. Her little barrette was so fun to do, geez. And her lips. I mean, heck, even her nostrils were fun. All these I put nostrils in. I don't think I usually do that, but they were fun to blop in. All right, these are interesting. This lady turned out a little bit on the scary side, but I really like her. Yeah, I really like her. Just a lot of interest in her eyes. Thought her lips turned out good. I would like to have her shirt also to wear. And then I'm not sure what I was doing with this lady, but basically there she is. I think I was wanting to try a full figure, but that didn't go so well. This one ended up looking maybe a little more like me. I mean, maybe. But again, I was not trying to make it look like me, but this one got way more realistic than what I normally like to do. Yeah, that hair definitely looks more like mine, and I can tell you that I did not have as much fun with this because it's so much more tight. I wonder why I got so tight. Her lips and eyes did turn out really good though. Look at those eyes. Oh yeah, we're up closer to self. That's funny. This is in my really big Moleskine. So I'm standing up on a stool because I have to get way up here to be able to turn these pages. Isn't that funny? All right, and then here is this last one. I mean, the background, hello. Oh, I'd love for that background to be on my bathroom wall. I think she turned out really good too. She looks like high society woman, doesn't she, with her little like pursed lips. Yeah, she doesn't look very happy either, does she? But her eyes, ooh, I got some really good interest in those eyes. And then again, the nostrils. I mean, I'm kind of really getting into the nostrils. Should that be the title of my video? Getting into nostrils. All right, well, there's that. Tell me which one is your favorite. I mean, that background. The background steals the show if you ask me in this one. I mean, her eyes are pretty great too. That background, should we get a close-up of the background? Yep, really fun. And you can also see like her hair and some of the colors that I use there. Fun. Good job, Sandy, if I do say so myself. I also want to talk to you about the Inktense blocks that I got and showed you last week. I want to show you some more of the sketches that I've been doing. I want to show you some of the things that I've been learning. A lot of you have asked me, like, what's the difference between the pencils and the blocks? Let me go grab the pencils. I have a really large set of the pencils, but for one, I keep buying colored pencils. I don't know why, and that's just not my go-to. But I have been liking the blocks because I feel like they're very versatile. I can just really get in there. I can make larger marks. I can use the sides. I can shade something like a large area, like let's say the sky, really lightly on the side of this. And then wet it, and I get a thin wash. Or I could press really hard. When it's wet, you can go back into it like this also, which is really cool. And see how it doesn't reconstitute as well. That mark will just stay there. So if you want it to move more, this needs to be completely dry before you go back over it. See how if I make the same mark, whoop, and then wet it this way. And I do love that it retains some of the marks there. I just feel like these are more versatile. They're gonna be the same colors, but just the way that you use them could be different. If you're somebody that does not like to get your hands dirty, these are not for you. Maybe the pencils are more for you. To me, the pencils, you just can't really like get in there and make big marks like I like to do, especially in the landscape, which is what I've been using these for mostly. Let me look at my notes. I've been keeping up with your questions. See what questions you have. Oh, you also wanted to know how they differ from the Neocolor. They are in a whole different universe from the Neocolor. So these are more like chalk pastels. I haven't used chalk pastels. I know they're soft and hard chalk pastels or pastels, and I'm envisioning these being more like the hard. So they are chalkier, but they're not. You know how chalk kind of is dusty? These aren't really like that. And then the Neocolors are very waxy. They're kind of like high-fluted crayons. I mean, really high. They're not like crayons, but they are. They're waxy like that. And I'm finding with the Inktense blocks, I can layer a lot easier because when I put a layer down, you wet it. So then I also get to paint. It feels very painterly, which I prefer to paint. And then when you let that dry completely, you can layer again without messing up the bottom layer. They will not re-wet. Another thing you can do is literally just dip the brush right onto the Inktense, which is really nice. So let's say you just needed a little line. So I just feel like it's really versatile. And then once it's dry, it won't re-wet. Oh, that wasn't dry. That wasn't dry either, but you'll have to take my word for it. Thought I would show you some of the sketches that I've been doing with the Inktense. I showed you this one last week in last week's video, so I won't spend much time on that. I do love how that turned out. Did this one right here with the Inktense, and I love how this turned out. Here's another one. This is one that I did out and it started raining on me, so I had just gotten started. I mean, I didn't even finish some of the trees, but I was still super happy with how it turned out. I was really glad that I got stopped mid-sketch. This is one that I think is important for you to see because I did this one morning when it was super, super wet out, very damp, and the page just would not dry. And you cannot layer these until the underlayer dries. Like you put a layer on, let it dry completely, and then you can layer really beautifully, but this just made mud. And I had to just stop because the paper was even, can you see that? It's like balling up. Yeah, it just didn't work. So I definitely wanted to make sure that you guys saw this one and what didn't work with that. Here's another one I did. I was using some of that technique of dipping the brush in the Inktense, make those trees. And then this one is another one that I was really pushing it on, like overworking it. It was damp out again. I wasn't taking time to let things dry. Finding what I need to do is like start a sketch, then push it over to the side and let that dry and then start another one. But this one I was feeling lazy on and just kind of kept working. I'm happy with it. It turned out good. Just almost, you know, like overdid it. I love how you can see the marks left over with these, and you can have dry marks and wet marks. What I'm doing right now is just using wax paper in between the pages until I can take time to use some fixative. I've either been using this fixative, which is for oil pastels, or this fixative. I don't know yet which one I like best. Because I hadn't filmed this yet, I was really trying to preserve the sketches as best I could. And now I can't even remember which ones I've done with the fixative or not. So I'll probably just keep these pieces of wax paper in there, but that's what I've been doing. Because if there's any dryness on there, that will smush over to the other page because it's kind of like a pastel. Another technique I like about the Inktense is that before they dry, you can dip back into them. So these little marks right here, what I did, I don't remember where, but someplace, maybe like here, before that dried, I could dip my brush into it. And so then I have a little bit on my brush and make marks. Also, if I've smushed something like this with my brush, that means I still have some of this color in my brush. And so instead of rinsing the brush, I'll then take that color and put it someplace else for a thinner wash. I think I did that with the sky. And you can also take that color that's in the brush, maybe you've got a nice wet brush, and splatter. I did that a lot. I wonder which sketch I did that with. Let me see if I can find an example for y'all. Okay, I can't find an example of that. I know I've got more of these sketches someplace and I can't find them, but I did want to show you how you can use the dry marks on top. So all this underneath, I've wet, see all that green and the dark colors? And then you can see these sharper marks on top where I've used it just dry and did not wet it. Same for that tree right there. That's dry over all this back here that's wet or had been wet. And back here's layers and layers and layers. And you can probably see all the colors. I mean, all of this was layers and layers of it. But again, I would let the layer completely dry before I put another layer on, unless you want mud. I'm also finding that the lighter colors go on top of the darkers better than anything else that I've ever used. Basically, I think what I'm trying to say, I can lighten a color, I can lighten a dark better than I have with any other anything. I don't really know why that is, but I really like it. I mean, you can't get like major light, but I can lighten it. And I really like that. I'm very thankful for that. Good job, Inktense. morning. What do you think of that snow? It's nice, Mom. It's real nice. Oh, yeah. Huh? Oh, you gave me the right on. Okay, I've got Grady in here filming for me today. We're training some filming. So I've got a filmer who's got a good sense of humor. We can talk to one another. Huh. Okay, I first wanted to show you, I got an amazing gift from one of you guys. Shauna sent me some paints that I've been wanting to try for forever. In fact, I even reached out to the company to see if they would send me some free paints, because I do that every now and then for you guys. And I didn't hear back from them. But anyways, Shauna messaged me and said, I have these paints. I'm an oil painter. I don't really love these. Do you want them? And I'm like, hello, woman. Yes. So she sent them to me. Yesterday I painted with them and I love them. But let me first just show you. So it's the Nova paints. I've heard from so many of you that I should try these. And I finally tried them and I am loving them. I love the big bottles. I love the consistency. The colors are great. It's even a little more matte than my LIQUITEX soft body. I've only spent one day painting and I've got a couple over here that are in the works. Maybe we should show them, Grady. So this is just one in the works, and then this one back here. This one was on paper, but this is in my LIQUITEX. So you can maybe see a little bit of the difference, I don't know, of the shininess versus the Nova. And then I also got Christmas presents for one of you guys. I don't even know who. A couple of y'all have reached out to me. I don't know who this is from yet, but I cannot wait. So I took it out of the mailing box and I've been feeling it because I like to try to guess what it is. I don't know what that is. I feel like this is gonna be maybe a shirt. Then this, I'm thinking sketchbook or book. So we'll see. Grady's laughing at me because I like to guess. And then this says Sandy, open last, which feels kind of like secretive. I don't know. It's probably gonna say something about the gift. I don't know. Cooper, stop looking and moaning. Okay, before we open gifts, there's two more things I want to tell you about the Nova paints. So obviously I'm gonna spend more time painting using those so I can give you a full review, because I know a lot of you guys are interested in knowing what I think about them. But I also forgot that I did this color chart. So not these, I don't even know what those are. That was something I swatched a while back. But here are all the colors. This is on a little swatch of canvas that I use. So you can see how matte they are. A couple of the colors are a little shinier, but that's just because of the consistency. Like there's just some colors that have a little more shine to them and some colors that are naturally more matte across the board. I got a nice range. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty excited. Okay. Gift time. Open last. I'm a rule follower, so I'm gonna follow that. I do wish I could figure out what this was. And I really like the gift wrapping too, so just so you know, I'm gonna do like this and see if I can figure it out. Oh, maybe a bandana. Oh, it's not. What is this? Oh my gosh, this is hand. I wonder what this is for. The card's gonna tell. Okay, this is quilted, or like little pieces. Okay, there's several of them. What do you think this is for, Grady?
I don't know.
You don't have any guesses? I'm gonna guess not a head thing. What is this gonna be for? Okay, I don't know. Oh, maybe there's something on one of these. Oh, maybe they're like little, I know what it is, I think. Okay, I'm gonna guess that maybe there's some kind of Christmas tree something in here, and this is like little Christmas tree skirts. Grady goes, well, do you have any guesses? Cooper, do you have guesses? Is it a thing for you? When we are like laughing and having fun, he's got to be part of the party. Okay, mystery, but I'm loving it. Oh, maybe this is fabric for, she sent me fabric. So fun. Okay, so I don't think this has anything to do with that, so I'm still not sure what's going on here. Fun. Oh, that's fun too. Aw, thank you. That is fun. I like those colors. Fun, fun, fun. Let's do like Christmas. We'll do like that. Oh, there's a bunch of things. Oh, it is a book. Okay, and something else. Ooh, what is this? What is this? Oh, they're little postcards. I'm not familiar with this artist. Whoa, I'm loving these. Oh, wow, look at that. Right. Okay, and then a book. Oh, wow, this is gorgeous. I'm not familiar with this artist, so I'm wondering if this is you or an artist that you love. But hello, look at this. Look how pretty that is. So I want to flip through this right now, but then I'm also partly like, don't look, because I want to sit, well, that's really pretty. Oh, look at the pattern on that, Grady. And you guys? See, I need to stop looking because I want to sit down with a cup of coffee and look through that. Okay, but let's see what the card says. Let's figure out the mystery of these. Let's have a final guess. I'm looking around the studio for what this could be. Okay. Oh, and I bet you made this card. I'm pretty sure you made that. Okay. Sandy, Merry Christmas to you and Grady. May the holidays be a time of reflection, renewal, and relaxation for you both. Suzanne. Okay, so that Suzanne's name is not on here, so this is another artist. Let's see what this says. Just wanted to send some inspiration to thank you. To thank you. Oh, God. For all the art advice and inspiration content you have provided to myself and so many this year. While wrapping it up, I kept thinking that you were getting really close. I think you are, Grady. See, he likes to be a jokester when he's filming. I'm not sure about this. If you want to keep your job, don't be. I was introduced to this book while watching a YouTube video, Textile Talks. The vintage quilt blocks were part of a set I found at a yard sale and thought they might be some fun snippets of pattern. Okay, so it's like for my, yes, I'm already thinking of ways that like a little thing of flower, a little base of flowers on top. Oh, I just scared Cooper. Sorry, bud. Thank you. Okay, this is so fun. Now like my brain's going wild thinking about things. I mean like that little red dot, how fun is that? Yes, I'm gonna put little flowers and I'm gonna be using these around the house. I'm already thinking of places I can set that. That was so fun. Thank you, thank you. And I'm going to so enjoy eating some lemon dessert that I made with some coffee this afternoon. Look at my book. Thank you. And thank you, Grady, for filming. I have a few things that I wanted to show you that I either got from an art garage sale or gifts. So this arrived the other day and I wanted to make sure I opened it with you guys. So let's do that. It's from one of y'all. Caitlin sent this to me. I'm gonna read this later. This looks like a really sweet note. Oh, this looks so cute. To Sandy from Caitlin. Oh, look how sweet. Oh, thank you, Caitlin. She painted that. Oh, thank you. Oh, look, they match. They go together. So cute. Oh, those are sweet, Caitlin. Thank you. So I opened a gift the other day and I forgot to show you guys these postcards. Are they postcards? Yeah. I forgot to give you a little B-roll footage of those from this artist, Gogh. I don't know if I'm saying that right, Gogh. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering it. Anyways, there was a lot of beautiful, beautiful paintings on these postcards. Then I also went to an art garage sale. It's like a studio sale today. It wasn't that great of a sale. The people moved 2 years ago and this felt more like the sale after the sale. You know what I mean? So that was a little bit of a womp. But I did get 2 art books. Let me move this stuff out of the way. Well, I'll show you this first. I also got this necklace, which looked so cute. I thought it was a locket because look at its shape, but I cannot see how to open it up. I don't think it opens up. And if it does, I'll probably figure it out in like 10 years and I'll be like, oh, look. But I thought it was super cute. So you'll probably see me wearing that at some point. Got that for $5. And then I got these 2 art books for $5. This one right here was so stinking cute. I could not get it. It's in another language, but look at The illustrations in this just made me so happy. I don't know, there were just things about it that felt very inspiring. Oh, wait, there's a card in there. Dearest Emily. I think this is the person I bought it from. That's funny. Okay, well, they didn't realize there was a card in there. Yeah, I just felt very inspired by this book. Wait, there was a man in here that really got me excited. I mean, even things like that. You know how in the past I've done like sketch your day kind of things? This would be very informative and inspiring. Here's something else for that kind of thing. I loved the way it was laid out. This could be very informative for a sketchbook page. Where is that guy that kept cracking me up in here? Wait, I'm gonna find it for you guys. Where are you, little guy? I mean, look at that. Look at those bananas. That is so cute. Melted bananas. Oh, look at that little monkey. He's cute. I mean, just to be able to look at things like this, you know, if you were doing a quick sketch in your sketchbook to see how somebody renders something, I think is so inspiring. I guess basically I'm going to flip the whole book for y'all. Trying to find the cute guy. He probably won't be as cute either once I find him. Oh, there he is. Oh, that is hysterical. It's not even a guy. I thought that was this guy's head and his hair and hands. It's a turkey. Or is that a chicken? That's hysterical. I thought it was a guy with a shirt on, but it's a turkey with a shirt on. Not a turkey. What is that? A chicken. I don't know. That's hysterical. Okay, so I got that book. That'll be fun to look through later. And then I also got this book. Let's see what the hardback cover looks like. That's fun. Probably should just ditch that. And it's just one I don't have of Van Gogh. It looked like it had a lot of paintings in it, so that felt exciting. Paintings I have not seen before of his. So I just did a quick flip through. I grabbed about 5 books and then in the end just decided on these. Ooh. I think it could be a good one for color inspiration, and I mean, you just can't go wrong with Van Gogh. Those were the finds that I wanted to share with you guys. All right, I'm gonna go paint now. That's a wrap.